Good day, I am Julius Chokson and I will be discussing the talent acquisition and employee selection. First, let's define what is employee selection. So, employee selection is the process of putting right man on the right job. It is a procedure of matching organizational requirements with the skills and qualifications of people. So to have the best people in your organization, of course, the employee selection must be strong. Each applicant or candidate should have the needed qualifications, skills that the organization require or are looking for. And by doing so, having the right man to the right job would be a great advantage to the organization because this candidate might help them go in further success. So effective selection can be done only when there is effective matching. And like I've said earlier, those candidates or possible employees can be a big advantage to the organization. But yes, they are qualified and they have the skills, but are they suitable to the right job you put them? So effective selection, effective matching should is very important when it comes to effective selection. Next is why employee selection important. By selecting best candidate for the required job, the organization will get quality performance of employee and also save time and money. So proper screening of candidates takes place during the selection procedure. All the potential candidates who apply for the given jobs are tested. This is actually correct. Employee selection makes your organization more productive without those absentees, employee problems, those uh, the work in the organization would be consistent and it would be great also for them because it can save them time and money. Next is how is effective selection different from recruitment. So, recruitment is the process of finding potential applicants, infusing into their minds to send their application for an anticipated vacancy. The selection, on the other hand, is the process involved in hiring employees among all the candidates that have been shortlisted, giving them a job. Next is what is the ES process? So what is the ES process? So first is preliminary interviews. It is used to eliminate those candidates who do not meet the minimum eligibility criteria laid down by the organizations. So so here in the preliminary interview, it will be known immediately who is eligible and who is not for the job based on their credentials, how they, their background, competencies. So of course, and the criteria laid by the organization. And also, preliminary interviews are also called screening interviews. So when it comes to effective selection, very important ang preliminary interviews. Next is application blanks. So application blanks, so in the application blanks, if the applicant passed the preliminary interview, they are definitely or they are required to fill in the application blank. And that application blank would contain the detailed info of the applicants. So their age, qualifications, reason for leaving the previous jobs, experience, and etc. Next is written tests. So mostly of every companies has the written exam for all the applicants for further or so that they can uh, have better known how capable the applicants for the job. So next, employment interviews. Employment and interviews is a one-on-one interaction between the interviewer and the potential candidate. It is used to find whether the candidate is best suited for the required job or not. Every company has to do this kind of interview, which is they're actually doing it. So this will serve as the basis of them being if they are really suited for the job or not, because employment interview contains seeking to evaluate the genuine and interest of the candidate in the company and the role, the preparedness for the position, and the potential to add value to the organization. It is basically like interrogation of candidate on how they will perform to the organization. Is he or she going to be helpful, or he or she would be the cause of the downfall of the organization? Next is medical examination. So after the employment interview, the organization decide to hire the candidate or for the job. It is now the next requirement for the candidate to submit. These medical examinations will help the organization to know if the candidate is healthy and don't have malady of some sort, so that it can prevent the candidates or the employee being absent. Next is appointment letter. So appointment letter is given after the selection process is completed. So letter basically confirms the appointment of a person to a particular job and the candidate's acceptance of it. It is provided by the company after the candidate has been selected and accepted the offer letter. Next is best employee selection method for choosing top talent. First is assess cognitive ability. So this cognitive ability test, this will know if the employee solves problems, interpret information, and recalls information without any struggles. So next is evaluating learning agility. In evaluating learning agility, this will know how fast employee can pick up things or learn things in just one or isang turo lang sa kanya, he or she already know how to do it. So measuring learning agility provides insight into how effectively an individual can acquire and apply new knowledge, skills, and experience. Next is situational judgment test. So in the situational judgment test, this will determine how would the employee thinks, react, or do if they are in the situation that they didn't expect to be in. Next is measure employee integration. So this test is designed to assess an applicant's tendency to be honest, trustworthy, and dependable. Next is test job knowledge. So this test job knowledge, sometimes referred to as achievement or mastery test, typically consists of questions designed to assess technical or professional expertise in a specific knowledge area. So job knowledge test evaluates that what a person knows at the time of taking the test, or what skills and knowledge they already have. Next is give a test work assignment. So this test work assignment will determine employee or candidate if they has skills or work styles, knowledge, or personality to succeed in a job. So company use assessment tests to make good hiring decisions, often during the early parts of the interview process. Next is organize an assessment center. So assessment center allows employers to see candidates' hard and soft skills in action rather than place the candidate go to take specific tests. In this context, assessment center refer to a testing process that analyze each candidate's social and analytical communication skills. Next is structure your interview process. So When it comes to interviewing the candidates, it should not be biased or just keeping hiring biases to a minimum. So, and it has to be objective. Next is conduct peer interviews. It is always a good idea to involve the team you're hiring for, as they know the day to day responsibilities and current skills gaps better than anyone else. So, peer interviewing helps ensures that you remain objective in your hiring efforts, as well as on the same page as the hiring managers and internal teams. By letting team members interact with the candidates, you can gain extra insights that the hiring manager might have not been able to yield. And lastly, check candidates' references. So by checking references are more than just a formality. They are a way of revealing values insight that can help you identify top candidates and better understand how an applicant would transition into the new role. Checking references allows you to find more about the candidates and how they work and can bring red flags to light before you make your employee selection. And that would be all. Thank you. Thank you very much.